What do 90 tons of mustard seeds and 1.8 million ketchup bottles fuel every year? One of the boldest flavor rivalries you've never noticed. French's mustard was originally made as a sidekick to hot dogs. Heinz Ketchup? It started as a medicinal tonic. But today, these two aren't just condiments, they're cultural empires. One with a cult-like devotion and a signature yellow squeeze. The other, practically a global currency in burger joints. So here's the question. When it comes to bold flavor, epic legacy, and the science of sauce, which one wins? French's mustard or Heinz Ketchup? Comment below. Your sandwich loyalty depends on it. Let's crack open the factories, the fields, and the flavor philosophies to finally settle the sweet versus sharp showdown. Part 1. French's mustard production process. Seed cultivation and harvesting. French's classic yellow mustard might look simple on your hot dog. But behind that bold flavor? A global operation, hundreds of thousands of hectares wide, powered by a seed so small it slips through your fingertips. Team Ketchup, don't look away. Mustard's coming in hot. On Canada's western prairies, over 200,000 hectares of farmland are dedicated to growing mustard. That's not a typo. That's about half the size of Luxembourg, all for these tiny powerhouses. Planting isn't casual. Farmers use air-assisted seeders to place each seed just below the surface, paired with fertilizer for a quick start. By July, fields burst into yellow blooms. Pretty to post, but also a signal. Harvest is close. In August, it's go time. Massive harvesters cut and crush in one sweep. Seeds go to storage. Stems return to the soil as fertilizer. Smart, sustainable, and pure mustard core. Seed cultivation and harvesting. Here's a wild thought. Before French's mustard even touches a mixing tank, those little seeds go through more inspection than some airline luggage. After harvest, the seeds travel from farms to massive grain warehouses, then straight to the French's factory where towering silos hold nearly 1 million kilos of mustard seed each. Enough to flavor every hot dog at Yankee Stadium, for years. But not every seed makes the cut. Each batch is cleaned with military precision. Dirt, stones, and debris are stripped away using high-speed sorters and sifters. Because here's the thing, when millions of seeds go into just one bottle, one pebble can ruin the party. And the cleaner the seed, the bolder the bite. French's doesn't compromise, so why should your taste buds? Honestly, watching seeds get this much pampering makes me wonder if my skincare routine is missing a step. High-speed mixing. Ever seen mustard whipped faster than a Formula One car? French's signature yellow blend hits speeds of 265 kilometers per hour, just to mix. It all starts with a carefully crafted formula. Mustard seeds, white vinegar, turmeric for that electric color, paprika for warmth, and a pinch of salt. The ratio? 60% water, 20% vinegar, 15% seeds, 5% spices. Simple math, but it builds a bold, balanced base with just the right bite. Inside towering steel tanks, high-speed paddles spin with intense force, blending everything into a silky, zesty mix. This is where texture is born, where chaos becomes mustard perfection. Think of it as the heart of the bottle, the moment flavor becomes form. This stage is all about control. French's doesn't guess. It calculates, measures, and locks in flavor with every batch. Honestly, if I stirred my morning coffee at 265 kilometers per hour, I'd call it a personality reboot. But this is mustard in beast mode. From here, the journey continues toward stone grinding, final textures, and the iconic squeeze we all know. Stone grinding. After surviving a 265 km/h flavor storm, you'd think the mustard's ready. But not yet. French's goes old school next, with stone grinding. Yes, actual stones. In a factory running over 100,000 gallons a day. They use synthetic stones now, but the method? Barely changed in a century. The blend flows between slow-rotating stones, grinding the seeds with just enough pressure to create that signature creamy texture. No blades, no shortcuts, just precision and patience. As the grind continues, the mustard gently warms to about 60 degrees Celsius. Why? Heat activates essential oils, boosting flavor, deepening color, and enhancing texture. This stage isn't just grinding, it's transformation. Rough grains become silky gold. Bitterness turns into that clean, zesty punch you know by heart. And here's a twist. Grind size affects heat. Finer means milder. Coarse means fire. French's found the sweet spot long ago and stuck with it. Honestly, I respect any condiment that commits to its grind. Stone-ground mustard is the gym rat of sauces. Old school, disciplined, and no nonsense. Quality control, resting, and de-aeration. What if I told you that your mustard goes through more texture tests than most skincare products? At French's, quality isn't a final step. It's built in from the start. Each batch is tested for smoothness. Particles must be smaller than 1/4 millimeter. Why? One gritty lump can ruin a kid's hot dog, and that's not a fight you want. Enter the master millers. They fine-tune over 30 mills, grinding 90 tons of seeds a day, around 380,000 liters of mustard. Honestly, these folks put more love into mustard than some people put into relationships. Once the texture is just right, the mustard isn't bottled just yet. It rests overnight. This pause allows the flavors to mellow and blend into that classic French's zing we know and love. Then comes de-aeration. Low-speed mixers remove trapped air to prevent browning and keep the texture creamy. You'd think it's just mustard. But after this, feels more like liquid craftsmanship in a yellow squeeze bottle. Packaging and distribution. Imagine this. Over 300 bottles of mustard filled every single minute. That's 5 bottles every second. Faster than you can say, pass the ketchup. After that, it enters a fully automated bottling line. Each bottle is filled, capped, and labeled with machine-level precision. And before it leaves the line, an advanced vision system scans every single unit, checking for spills, air bubbles, or even crooked labels. One skilled operator can manage 112,000 bottles per shift. That's not multitasking, that's mustard mastery. Makes me rethink how productive my Monday was, to be honest. Once boxed and wrapped, it's go time. Over 380,000 liters of mustard leave the factory every day, destined for grocery stores, burger chains, stadiums, and backyard BBQs worldwide. Part 2. Heinz Ketchup Production Process. Tomato cultivation and harvesting. We've seen how French's mustard goes from tiny seeds to tangy gold. But now, it's time for the other half of the plate. It takes about 10 to 12 tomatoes to make 1 bottle of Heinz ketchup. Multiply that by 650 million bottles a year. And you've got a full-blown fruit empire. Here's the twist. Unlike mustard, which starts from a seed and waits for rain, ketchup demands sun-ripened tomatoes, picked at the perfect moment. From farms across the US, Mexico, and Europe, Heinz tomatoes are hand-picked for color, firmness, and sugar. Because the difference between perfect ketchup and sad tomato soup, it starts in the field. Once harvested, these crimson VIPs are trucked to Heinz factories, where machines take over. Optical sensors scan each one like a nightclub bouncer. Bruised, underripe, misshapen, rejected. The chosen ones head into a high-pressure tomato spa, washed, buffed, and prepped to be transformed. Honestly, these tomatoes get better treatment than I do on my day off. But hey, anything for the perfect fry dip, right? Paste production. Here's a wild stat. One single batch of Heinz ketchup can start with over 20 tons of tomatoes. That's not a typo, 20 tons. But before it becomes the silky red sauce we know and love, it's got to go through a transformation. And it all starts with a crush, literally. Tomatoes are crushed into a thick paste, pure sun-ripened intensity, no filler. It's like turning a summer harvest into a concentrated punch of taste. No water yet, just pure tomato intensity. Next, the paste is transferred into massive holding bins. Each one can store enough paste to fill over 100,000 ketchup packets. From there, it's blended with water to create a smoother, pourable base. The result? A tomato base that's ready to move into the heart of the factory, the ketchup kitchen. Ingredient: mixing in the ketchup kitchen. You might think ketchup is simple until you realize Heinz treats every batch like a science experiment. Why? Because every squirt of Heinz balances 5 core ingredients to the decimal, and one of them is a secret. First up, sugar. Not too sweet, not too dull. It softens the tomato's acidity. Then vinegar, the zingy backbone that keeps your ketchup fresh for weeks. Next, brine, a touch of salt to make the tomato pop. Then, the secret spice blend. No one outside Heinz knows what's in it, but it's why knockoffs never taste quite right. Spices are still dosed by hand, a rare move in a factory this automated. This is where art meets science. Once everything's in, high-tech mixers kick in. They blend and heat the sauce just enough to boost flavor, without boiling it flat. No shortcuts here, just time, temperature, and careful stirring. As the sauce simmers, the flavors deepen. Tomatoes stop tasting like tomatoes and start tasting like ketchup. Then, heated for safety, chilled to lock in taste. It's ketchup's version of a spa day. Hot, then cold, and no bacteria invited. The result? A silky, bold, unmistakable base. Mustard might grind hard, but ketchup? It's engineered to perfection. Quality control. Ever heard of ketchup getting rejected for being too fast? At Heinz, it happens. And it's not snobbery, it's science. Ketchup isn't just judged by taste or color. It has to pass a global standard of slowness. Specifically, it can't move faster than 0.028 miles per hour in a 10-second test. Why? Because speed ruins everything. The spoon cling, the burger drip, and that iconic squeeze. Every Heinz factory uses the same machine, the quantifier. It's ketchup's final test. Too fast, rejected, too slow, also out. It needs that Goldilocks flow, just thick enough to impress your fries. This isn't just consistency, it's loyalty. No matter where your bottle is made, US, Netherlands, or beyond, the ketchup inside has been measured down to the 10th of a second. Basically, It's the Olympics of condiments. Filling, packaging, and distribution. Picture this: 1.8 million bottles of ketchup per day just from Europe. Not a typo. At Heinz, that's a normal Tuesday. Before it hits your fries, each bottle goes through a precision dance. Empty? Sure. Ignored? Never. Each one's weighed before a single drop goes in. Then, boom, 70 nozzles fill it to the gram. Next, the cap. Snapped on clean. 3 labels, neck, front, back, no glue, no mess. Then it's go time. Bottles are shrink-wrapped, tray-packed, robot stacked like ketchup soldiers. And those robots? Smooth. Like gold medal smooth. Where's it all going? Everywhere. Stores, stadiums, your fridge door. Heinz ships to 140+ countries. So odds are, your bottle did this exact dance. We all just squeeze and eat. But now? You know, every bottle went through a choreographed mix of timing, tech, and a little obsession. And honestly, I respect that. Part 3. Ketchup fans versus mustard fans. The flavor showdown. Here's a hot take. Your favorite condiment might say more about you than your dating profile. So, ketchup or mustard? Which one wins? Let's break it down. Ketchup fans, you're the reliable ones. Sweet, smooth, a little tangy. You grew up dipping fries at fast food joints, probably still do. You love comfort, classics, and anything that blends well with life. Heinz? Basically your emergency contact. Mustard fans? You're bold, zesty, and a little chaotic, in the best way. You grew up on backyard BBQs, not drive-thrus. You're into flavor that punches, not whispers. You'd probably argue mustard belongs on more dishes, and honestly, you're not wrong. Ketchup is your go-to when you want something safe and universally accepted. But mustard? That's your pick when you want to stand out. It's not just a condiment, it's a personality flex. Now you tell us, if you could only choose one for life, which one's making the plate? Whether you're Team Tomato or Team Tangy Mustard, one thing's for sure. Your condiments say more about you than you think. If this flavor showdown hit the spot, give it a like and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes bites. Next up, we're digging into the surprising rise of sriracha. So, if you like your sauces with heat, you won't want to miss it. Catch you in the next squeeze.